Hi, Jump Magic here. Now, I've mentioned a bunch of places in Elysium that I call 70% spots. And what I usually mean is that 70% of the time, Zeds will avoid you because they cannot determine a clear path to your position. Any Zed that can shoot doesn't need to get to your position. They can shoot you if they have line of sight. So shooting Zeds are more the 30%. The magic spot I'm going to talk about is kind of a 30% spot, but it's a really important 30%, so it needs a bit of explanation. In my Secrets of Elysium video, I outlined that beating the Zeds isn't merely how much damage per second, or DPS, you can dish out. Obviously, if you have a really high DPS situation, you can kill everything before it reaches you, but killing floor endless mode is designed to keep changing the equation until that's not true anymore. The factors I discussed in that video were damage output, position, and time. I talked about how the faster you kill, the bigger the next spawn Zeds will be, so we can combine damage output and time as a measurement called Zeds per minute, or how many Zeds you kill over a period of time. The reverse of that is the Zed response size, or the type of Zed that gets spawned based on your Zeds per minute average. The point here is, if you have a high Zed per minute rate, you get pounds or scrakes in response. If you have a low Zeds per minute average, you get back something smaller like a Gorefast. What is it that makes the castle map so difficult? The size of the map is relatively small, but the position of the spawn points means you only generally have two choices of direction, and spawning Zeds will be spread across both of them. These two spawn points have the highest rate of spawn, partly because there is no angle from which you can see the Zeds spawn in. There are other points that spawn, but they are partially visible from many angles, so they tend to be limited after the first batch. Now, in the first 60 seconds, the players will typically find 2 or 3 dozen small to medium Zeds in the lower courtyard, and they will gleefully shoot them all down. But at high wave, that's putting you in a very, very bad position. The game will next spawn a dozen pounds or scrakes in response to the fast killing, and it will spread the spawn across these 2 points, and now you have a large number of Zeds, some of which are resistant to bullets, and some of which are resistant to explosives, closing in on the group from all sides. If they are still killing pretty quickly, the Zed response size is going to be 2 dozen pounds and scrakes, so the situation changes from having a high DPS relative to the Zeds to having a low DPS. They are now in a bad position as they are surrounded, and too much time has been wasted removing small Zeds, as opposed to preparing for the big Zeds, so our group here is doomed, and they haven't passed 3 minutes on the map. In the Secrets video, I talked about heading to what I'll call the lower right corner of the map. What we're trying to do is improve our position by drawing as many Zeds as we can to the right lane, and improve our time by not killing a lot of things, therefore dropping the size of the response spawn. Now, a number of Zeds will still spawn on the left side, but if it's over a longer period of time, they are more likely to be in a tight group nearby rather than spread across the entire left lane. Now we get to the magic. If you stand behind this pole, the small Zeds with the overhead attacks are going to nip at you, but the big Zeds with the horizontal attacks, well, most of them won't even get close. Scrakes and pounds make a lot of horizontal attacks, and if they were to do it next to this pole, their hands would be inside the pole or the wall. Since we can't have that happen, they can't figure out a path to you that would allow them to do that. This isn't likely to be the real reason, but it pretty closely describes what is going on, so we'll use it. You're going to need to kill those small Zeds, or they'll knock you out from behind the pole. Melee is good for that because you can't get more ammo yet. You'll also want to have a good ranged weapon to kill the pounds and scrakes chilling in front of you. Doing that will take time, and that's a good thing. because the spawn response will be popping clots and gorefests rather than more pounds and scrakes. Eventually, a husk or something will knock you out from behind the pole, and the pounds and scrakes that are still alive will run for you. Your position is good because the big Zeds should all be on the right side, and the small Zeds should be on the left. Your time should be good, assuming you didn't rush to kill those big Zeds. You can run out the left side through the gate. At this point, there should only be small Zeds there. Make your way through them and head in the direction of the top right side of the map. The ideal situation is that you'll draw the majority of the Zeds to the right side, pick up more ammo, then you can run down the left side of the map and back behind the pole. Once there, rinse and repeat until they are all dead. Some final notes. You are still going to have a tough time during a boom wave. The castle map has a tendency to combine with special waves like boom or bobble, and the intention is probably to ramp up the difficulty after the game has been going a while. Only one of the poles seems to have the magic, so for survival's sake, it's best for the group that the person in the magic spot have a flexible weapon loadout and skills. If the person in that spot has only a heal thrower, resolving the wave could take a long time. Good luck, and I'll see you on the killing floor.